Welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into something most traders never see. We're talking about dark pool secrets, how you can actually learn to read these massive hidden trades before the market makes its big move. We're about to pull back the curtain on a side of Wall Street they really don't want you to know about. I mean, really let that sink in for a second. What if I told you that while you're glued to your charts, watching every little tick, the real game-changing trades, they're happening completely in the shadows? This isn't some conspiracy theory. It's just how the market is built. You see, you've got to think of the stock market as having two layers. First, there's the surface layer. That's everything you see on your trading platform. The prices, the volume bars, all the public action. But right underneath that, there's a hidden layer. And that's where the giant institutions, the hedge funds, quietly pass billions of dollars back and forth, totally hidden from view. So for this first section, let's peel back that surface layer and take a good look at this hidden world. What is it really? And how in the world does it even work? Let's jump right in. This hidden layer has a pretty cool name, actually. Dark pools. And no, it's not as sinister as it sounds. They're basically private, invitation-only stock exchanges for the big dogs. It's a place where they can buy or sell huge blocks of shares without setting off any alarms on the public market. Think of it like a secret high-stakes auction house for Wall Street's elite. And that, of course, begs the million-dollar, or I guess billion-dollar question, why, right? Why all the secrecy? If you're managing a massive fund, why not just trade out in the open like everybody else? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. It's all about hiding their intentions. Imagine you're a fund manager and you want to buy $1 billion worth of Apple stock. If you tried to do that on the open market, the price would absolutely explode upwards before you even got a fraction of your order filled. It would cost you a fortune. Dark pools let them make that move silently. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for us. Even though these trades happen in the dark, they aren't completely invisible. Nope, they leave behind footprints. And in this section, we're going to talk about how to spot those footprints and finally understand what the smart money is really up to. So picture this. You're just watching the market chop along and then bam, a print for this number flashes across the tape. $1 billion. It's a trade so ridiculously large it makes the rest of the day's volume look like a joke. And yet, the price didn't seem to budge when it happened. How is that even possible? Let's make this real. Say you're watching the QQQ and it's just boring, trading sideways, going absolutely nowhere. Out of the blue, a massive billion-dollar dark pool print comes through at a price of $577. To most people, it looks like a weird glitch. But then you start to notice something strange. The price starts to, well, drift. It's like it's being pulled by a magnet right toward that $577 level. While most retail traders are just confused, someone who saw that print now has a massive clue. And this right here, this is the edge. These dark pool prints aren't just data noise, they're signals. You can think of them like road signs that the big money plants in the market, basically saying, hey, this price level right here is really important to us. For them, it's a huge position. For you, it's a roadmap. So the big question is, how do we actually use this? How do you turn this insider knowledge into a real, actionable trading edge? Well, it all boils down to a pretty simple 3-step strategy. Let's break it down. Okay, here it is. Step 1 is you have to track the footprints. You're hunting for those giant, unusual prints that stick out like a sore thumb. Step 2, once you find one, you mark that exact price level on your chart. That level is now a hotspot. And finally, step 3, you trade in alignment with that print. Rule number 1, you never ever fight a billion-dollar trade. You flow with it. So what does trading in alignment actually look like? It's simple. You watch that key level you just marked. If the stock price comes down to your level and bounces off it like a trampoline, holding strong, that could be a great setup for calls. But if it goes up to that level and hits a brick wall, getting rejected hard, that might be a perfect signal for puts. You're using their giant footprint as your pivot point. So when you start doing this, what does it actually mean for your trading? I'm telling you, your entire perspective on the market is about to change. Let's talk about the brand new edge you're about to get. This is a fundamental shift. You're going to stop reacting to big moves after they've already happened and left you in the dust. Instead, you start anticipating where the price is likely headed. You're no longer just looking at squiggly lines on a chart. You're spotting the deliberate moves of the biggest players in the game. And that lets you trade with so much more precision and honestly, a lot more confidence. And that is the real transformation. It's the difference between guessing and making a truly educated trade. You're not just throwing darts anymore. You are literally trading in the shadow of Wall Street itself, using their own moves as your guide.
All right, before we wrap this up, we need to cover a couple of final but really important points.
Here at Elite Trader Radar, this is what we do. Our entire mission is to decode these hidden Wall Street tactics, to pull back the curtain and give retail traders a real fighting chance to finally win. Now, and this is super important, listen up. Everything we talked about today is for educational purposes only. This is absolutely not financial advice. Dark pool data is a powerful tool, but it's just one tool. You have to do your own research and due diligence before you ever risk your hard-earned money on a trade. So, if learning how to spot these hidden footprints has already given you a bit of an moment, just imagine what other tactics you might be missing out on. To keep learning and keep decoding the market, make sure you subscribe to Elite Trader Radar right now. The next secret you uncover could completely change the way you trade forever. Thanks for watching.